Ladies and gentlemen, it is the last day of February, and we were back off a 3-week hiatus. Had to be something like that.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Off. I wasn't here for 3 weeks. You were here 2 weeks.
Right.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks for you.
Right.
And I think the week before that we weren't on. I think.
It's hard to keep track now.
Something like that.
We're just so busy.
We're just, yeah, something like that. We got more content than we have airtime lately.
Right.
The Dangerous Dan's been detained somewhere. Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, I'm back.
But you're back.
The ruckus.
Right.
I brought the ruckus.
Right. I just want to talk right now about the big event, number 12 coming up.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yes.
I want to apologize right now to the powers that be over there. It's been a while since the last one, and we've been talking about airing these interviews week after week after week. Things have happened, unfortunately, behind the scenes, and
I mean, between weather-related stuff and the interns have school and finals and studying and things like that, and we value everybody that deals with us and works with us, and again, it was a series of unfortunate events.
Right.
Lemony Snicket.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it took this long to get it together, but we're not going to rush it out there and put out an inferior product.
Right.
And I'm sure that anybody that we deal with can appreciate that. That
Right.
we're not just going to throw on either cell phone footage or something else.
I was up till about 4:30.
together,
I was up till 4:30 in the morning. He was on his break at work, so others don't have to.
Yep.
I was up till about 4:30 in the morning. This was Sunday night into Monday, and I did the very, very best I could. We're going to get to as many of these as we possibly can in the next hour, and we're expected to hear from Brian Barth, in charge of Sports Fans Promotions, in charge of Big Event 12 coming up this Saturday morning from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. I believe it is.
Yes.
LaGuardia Plaza Hotel. Anything we do not get to, you can go to our Squared Circle group page, and those interviews will be there. Whenever they're ready and back, we can get started. And if Mr. Barth calls in,
we'll interrupt for Brian Barth.
Right.
But real quick, very happy birthday to Ed McCarver, friend of the show, longtime friend of the show. Tom Dacey's partner in crime over at Talking with Tom, and frequent call-in guest and huge boxing fan. So, God bless Ed McCarver, and happy birthday to you, brother.
Absolutely, happy birthday. A legend in road racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna have to get a Squared Circle racing team together, and
I'll be at the finish line just waiting for you.
Yeah.
It ain't me.
I wasn't even planning to include you.
Oh, no.
Because if it was a walking team, well, that's even debatable. I know one person on the set I would definitely beat in any road racing. That probably would be you.
That would be me.
Right.
So, do we have the footage ready?
I said probably in a few minutes.
Okay.
But
let's go over a little bit of what's going to happen on Saturday.
Right. As we're waiting for this, they'll tell me in my ear what's going to happen Saturday. I have featured guests here: Tito Ortiz, presented by Big Event New York; Sting, presented by Primetime Appearances; Bret Hart, he's being presented by Big Event and MZ Promotions; Harley Race, Big Event New York again; Fitterman Sports has Mike Tyson. That's going to be that's huge, incredible. Dennis Rodman by Prince Marketing Group; James Harris, who's formerly known as Kamala.
He canceled.
He did cancel.
Big announcement. Kamala, James Harris, is not well enough to make the trip. There is a promoter out there that is selling unauthorized and I will say fake autographed merchandise from Kamala. James Harris on his page asks that you please do not purchase these items because they are not authorized by him. They have not been autographed by him, and just stay away from buying online autographed merchandise, pictures, etc. of Kamala James Harris because they are not authorized or autographed by him. So buyer beware. when you do things over the internet. And somebody saw that he wasn't going to be there and just became an opportunist. So on behalf of James Harris, please, unless you see him autograph it yourself, stay away. But you may continue, sorry.
That's no problem. We want to get that information out there, definitely. Alberto Del Rio, or El Patron, whatever he's going by now,
Right.
will be there by prime time. Christy Hemme by Big Event New York. RF Video has Christian Cage. Mandy Leone, we talked to her before.
Yeah.
Maria Kanellis and Michael Bennett. Donovan Dijak, all presented by Big Event.
Yep.
Right. KNS High Spots, we have Sid Vicious, the Headbangers, formerly known as Boogeyman, Gangrel, Charles Wright, DDP, who's going into the 2017 Hall
Right.
of Fame.
Right. You can get his autograph before he gets
Right.
inducted. Yep.
Yep. Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, the Young Bucks. Wrestling Inc. has Lita, KNS, Real Pro Wrestling Federation. We have Sean Waltman and Kip Sop. Team Art and High Spots, we have Giant.
Great Khali.
Giant Singh, formerly known as Great Khali, excuse me there.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. So, coming along, we got Team Art here, Steve McMichael, Mark Miro, Isuki Yamazaki, Shelly Martinez, Northeast Wrestling, Cody Rhodes, The Kingdom. Member of The Kingdom happens to be a guy from Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling
Right.
named TK Orion.
Yep.
So,
Good friend of ours.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what our chances of being able to interview him are.
I think he's pretty good.
Pretty
We've
good.
talked to him before.
I've talked to him before
Yeah.
at Pioneer Valley.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, and RPW as well. Corey Graves.
Obviously, no slight to Northeast Wrestling. Corey Graves is scheduled to be somewhere on Sunday that week.
Right.
I'm sorry? In Arizona for Fastlane. So, I mean, it's going to be a heck of a ride for him to be in, Queens or Flushing
You figure.
on one day and then
Right.
to boogie down to Arizona the next day. So, Corey Graves, I know he stepped in because the Jerry the King was originally scheduled.
but I couldn't do it.
But couldn't do it. So, Corey Graves is, honestly, we've seen Jerry the King on how many times?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever seen Corey Graves
Yeah, and,
at an autograph.
I honestly believe that Corey Graves is going to be the future of the broadcast team.
Absolutely.
For WWE,
Right.
in the years coming.
Right.
Because we're looking at Michael Cole is going to go and take over Kevin Dunn's spot behind the scenes, and you're going to end up with Corey Graves as being the solid,
The main.
commentator. So I would love to get just 5 minutes with this fellow, just talk to him and get pick his brain and see where the future's going. But it's going to be interesting to see if he actually makes it, because if he does, God bless him, because he's going to have to leave right there, go right next door to the airport and hop on a plane there.
Oh, yeah. Right. Exactly.
He's going to have to take a fast plane to get to fast lane.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Action figure.
And an action figure. Where is Corey Graves' action figure? Yeah, that's a good question.
Don't know. Fan City Sports, Scott Wilder have Ron Bass, Demolition, Mike Kirchner. That's the name we haven't heard for
Yeah.
a really long time. Lucky 13, Brooke Tessmacher and Jerry Lynn. RF again, Lisa Marie Veron. RDP, Mean Gene Okerlund.
I want to talk to Lisa Marie, because she's got our name on her restaurant.
Yeah, we're going to seriously have to talk to her.
We're going to have to either do some sort of merger or some, we'll have to get some
Yeah.
visuals.
I know.
At least some free burgers. Come on.
Right.
I know she's got the Paul Heyman burger over there, so I guarantee you it's got no cheese on
She
it.
doesn't have the Hollywood J Burger, though.
No. Well,
No.
I don't know how good that one tastes.
Melina Perez, Ron Simmons.
I have to wait an hour for that burger, though.
I don't know. Event Warren has Velvet Sky, Damage 365, Bob Orton, Butch Reed, Thea Trinidad, formerly known as Rosita. That's Thea Trinidad, of course. Nikki Adams, Aria Cadenza,
Yep.
Dwayne Gill,
Also known as Gilbert.
Gil
Recent
Gilberg.
return to the WWE.
Right. You may have to take over from there if you could find damage. You're playing around with your little.
Yeah, I got the whole list right here.
Go ahead.
I no longer pen to paper. You know, ecology here.
Yeah.
But SWF Wrestling has Sexy Star Dulce Garcia, Taya, Brian Cage, Bull James, who we spoke to. You probably might see this one, and Melissa Santos. And MG Sports Promotions has Hillbilly Jim, of Legend House from the WWE Network.
Right,
if you
of course.
recall that. Bree Combination Wrestling, Shannon Moore and Mike Orlando. Collectors Expo LLC has Valerie Cormier and Marissa Jade. TagMeADate.com has Maven Huffman. And just added, WrestlePro is Ryback, who we did speak to
The last time.
last big event. Ultimate Stars and GT Promotions has Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Jimmy Hart, part of the Hart Foundation, of course. And GW Promotions has Rocky Johnson. Love to be able to talk to him. Of course, the father of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And Tony Atlas. There's two fellas that used to tag team quite often in the late 70s, early 80s. Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. And according to Tony Atlas's book, they did not get along. It was back in that.
No one would have ever thought.
Well, you know, on screen they were, you know, tag team partners and best friends, but off screen, it was more of a competition to get that slot in back in the day it was WWF, because at that time, according to Tony Atlas's book and speaking to him in person, you know, there weren't many slots for African American wrestlers. There was only one or two on the roster, and you know, a lot of times that they were just very low on the card. You know, and it was quite a long time before we even had an African American champion in WWF/E.
Yeah, right.
And you know, it was just I don't know, I would say a sign of the times or just how it was in that era. I'm not saying it was correct, but back then, that's just how the territory worked. And it wasn't a matter of personality clash. It was a matter of, hey, they were fighting for a paycheck and their survival and a spot on the card. And, you know, when you had one guy, you know, or a limited amount of spots, you know, and again, it was only like once a week back in that era, and then you'd see it on Saturday night on TV, maybe, you know, wrestling live on a regular basis. But as far as TV time goes, it was only on once a week. So, you know, again, you didn't have the WWE Network.
No.
And you didn't have 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, the 205 Live, NXT, you know, and then we had Superstars. You know, you didn't have any of, you know, all of that. So it's an interesting read. If you look at Tony Atlas's book, if you see him, I'm sure he'll have it on sale. And it's one of the better books out there. And I always lean toward the wrestler biographies, autobiographies that are not produced or published by WWE itself, because they tend to be more candid. let's say.
Of course. WWE's going to tell you their side of the story.
Right.
You know, and that's going to be that. Right.
So, you know, and it's a rare appearance by Rocky Johnson. We've been to how many of these big events, both as fans and as journalists, and Rocky Johnson hasn't been at any of them so far. So it'll be interesting to see, and to see if they interact at all. You know, if they're put at the same table or near one another. But it'll be something that you may not see again. But moving forward, JK Promotions has got Vito Antuofermo. I can't pronounce
Vito, is it Big Vito?
that. Yeah.
Right.
And the big event also bringing in our good friend Andrew Anderson once again, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Ashley Massaro. And you'll see her, I believe, twice in these clips.
Right.
Ashley Massaro was nice enough to give me a very good interview. And she took our microphone and on our behalf interviewed Aaron Rex and Swaggle.
Of course.
So
We might see that.
we might see that.
We are ready to roll on those clips, as a matter of fact. So we present to you the Big Event 11.
Or Dutch Mantel, whenever you prefer. Yeah, just call me Zeb today. There we are, Zeb. I'm in my Zeb attire. There we are. Zeb, Brian brought us all in for the big event 11.
Brian, I want to thank you very much. I've made this event several times. It's always a pleasure to come up here. I really enjoy it. So thank you very much. And any more questions?
Yeah, this will appear
What's
on...
your name again?
My name is John.
Okay, Jacob, keep asking questions. So what are you going to ask me?
Anyway, what do you think of the squared circle?
I love it. I think it's one of the greatest things I've ever. I think it's the greatest thing invented since I invented standing in line. I did that a long time ago. People just used to stand around in a big mess. I said, hey, line up and you get in there quicker. And when they learned that, things move much more smoothly.
And you're no stranger to political controversies. What do you think of the current affairs?
Can I say that here?
PG?
Well, you know, if you go one way, people call you all kind of names. If you go the other way, you're just an idiot. And so, and I tell you why he won the election. People that voted for Mr. Trump, and I know him personally, they just didn't tell anybody. And they overlooked the whole country except for California, and that's why he got in. And me personally, I think he would do a pretty good job.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good morning. We're here at the big event, and I've got one of the greatest and most lovely superstars ever to get into the squared circle. How are you this morning?
I am terrific, thank you. Oh my God, this is so awesome.
What are you up to these days? Where can we reach you on social media, and how do we find you?
Well, before I got to wrestling, I don't know if you know, I was a stunt woman. So I'm back in the game. I'm working on like all the TV shows in New York, movies, whatever comes to New York. And you know, that was always my first love, which wrestling was like a live stunt show. So obviously love them both. I haven't been in the ring since 2013. I did a women's pay-per-view thing, so I miss it a lot. But I'm glad to be back here. It's always great to see the fans. It's amazing. I'm just like a little starstruck, seeing all the people that I used to work with and getting to say hi and, you know, reminisce old memories. This is pretty awesome.
What do you think of the current women's movement in the WWE?
I'm gonna admit that like I don't always watch it because I miss it so much. So it's like I get upset when I see it because I want to be there. So I'm not always watching it. But every time I like click onto it, it's like I think, you know, some good, some bad. But I think it was like always that way. So it's got its ups and downs all the time.
Well, you know, we see Trish Stratus come back, Lita come back, Mickie James recently signed again. If the doorbell rang, would you answer it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I miss it, and I'm always tempted all the time, and absolutely. Sometimes I'm hesitant to knock the door because I know what goes into it. You know, it's a rough life, the traveling, the work, but you know, I'm still hitting the ground hard with my job, so I'm still ready to take on anything.
Well, you are in fantastic shape.
Oh, and I still feel so good, so I'm always ready to throw down.
And are you on Twitter, Facebook, any of that
I'm
stuff?
on all of them. Yeah, Action Trinity. I had a web show, so you can find me on all those under Trinity, Action Trinity, easy.
Thank you very much for your time. And if you could say we're on the squared circle.
What's up?
The squared circle.
The only squared circle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Tim, and he represents the House of Hardcore. I don't need to
Mandatory,
say
you guys.
anything because Tim is an awesome interview.
First off, this guy just came up to me and he asked me what my name was. What an insult. If you don't know my name by now, Joey, you got a lot of problems. My name is Tim, and everybody knows it. You know it. And first off, if you want to talk to me, you better put a tuxedo on. Not that, I mean, right now there's a corpse sitting around who's missing his clothes. Hold that mic up, Joey. I'm tall. House of Hardcore comes to Philly December 17th at the world-famous ECW Arena. And for the first time ever in House of Hardcore history, Matt Hardy battles Tommy Dreamer in a cage. The first time ever in a cage match there, Joey. So if you don't have your tickets now, you go to www.houseofhardcore.net, and that's where you buy those tickets. And the next time you see me at one of these things, if you're not in a suit, it's over.
Stevenson and Hi, this is Ashley Massaro with the big event, and I'm here live with Swoggle and Aaron Stevens. So, how are you liking the show, guys?
It's packed. It's absolutely packed. These conventions they blow me away with how many people come to them.
Amazing.
Yeah, same here. Swoggle and I, we've hung out a little bit the last couple weeks actually, and yeah, we're just having fun.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. So good times for everybody. We'll see you later.
I'm here with one of the hardcore legends, one of the ECW legends. Unbelievable Spike Dudley. We never see you out and about. What brings you here today?
Actually, it was a good excuse to take the wife on a road trip, leave the kids at home for a weekend, come down to New York, see some fans, hang out, have a good day.
We are just so happy to see you here. We really appreciate you. You just said you're not on social media. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm done. I haven't wrestled in a while. I'm going to get out before I got dead. So I'm in the world of financial industry.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me out.
Do you have an IRA?
Oh, absolutely.
How much you contribute?
5%?
Go to 7.5. Get a match.
7.5 and get a match. What do you think of the current climate for the world finance?
Who knows? Always goes up in the time, but who the hell knows? It's like Vegas.
And what do you think of Brian Barth and the big event?
I think it's awesome. Seeing a lot of guys I haven't seen in a long time, a lot of great fans. It's fun. Fun.
Well, I wish you success today. And one more thing, if you could say the squared circle.
What was that?
The squared circle.
The squared circle.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
If you notice in the clip with Zeb Coulter, Ivan Koloff was sitting next to him, and that was
Yes.
maybe the last footage available of Ivan Koloff. Unfortunately, we lost him last week.
Right, yes.
A little over a week ago now. Mm-hmm. And and then also George the Animal Steele, since we've been on last.
Yes, definitely.
And, it's
Lots of
just-
prayers go out to their
It's
families.
just devastating. They were, up in age, but anytime you lose, especially a family member, for their children and grandchildren and onward, but it's just a horrible tragedy that we keep losing members of our community. And, again, our hearts go out to their friends and family and their loved ones. Ivan Koloff. And interesting story is Andrew Calandrelli, who owns the Ultimate MMA right here in North Haven on Upper State. His father was good friends with Ivan Koloff. And, over the last week or two, he's been regaling me with some stories. And apparently Andrew was always around Ivan Koloff, and Andrew Jr., who runs the school, doesn't remember Mr. Koloff. He's like, and Andrew Sr. is like, you used to you ride around on his shoulders all the time. Yeah. So it's an interesting thing, and I would love to get Andrew Calandrelli Sr. onto the show, because he knew quite a lot of the wrestlers. Because back in the day, they were all based out of Connecticut, and they either lived in West Haven or Hamden, or very close by, to do the tapings in Stamford. And obviously Madison Square Garden was their home base back in the days when Koloff was at his prime, and George Steele, prior to him being George the Animal Steele, with the whole Miss Elizabeth gimmick and all that. But Mr. Calandrelli Sr. has such great stories, and I sit there for the full hour while Jacob is wrestling at Ultimate MMA, and Mr. Calandrelli just is generous with his stories, and has a great way of telling some of the things, and some of them we're not going to be able to air.
No.
It's beyond PG.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate Mr. Calandrelli's time and the stories that he's just sharing with me. But Marissa's got a fight coming up on the 11th, Saturday the 11th, in Agawam, Massachusetts, Premier Fighting. And Marissa, if you remember, she was on the show.
Oh, yes,
a
Marissa
while back.
Valencia, yes.
Good, you can pronounce it. I can't pronounce that for some reason.
I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say it again.
Valencia?
Okay. But yeah, she's got a boxing match coming up in Premier Fighting, and we wish her all the luck in the world. But she doesn't need luck. She trains every day, so others don't have to.
So you fly be a
You
while.
got to fly,
Right.
But yeah, everyone over at Ultimate MMA just training like crazy over there, and the classes get bigger and bigger, and everybody helps everybody over there, and it's great to see, especially my son Jacob, just tussling with everybody. You know, it's not just people of his age group; it's people of his size and weight, and he's learning from each and every person that he wrestles with and grapples with. So I truly appreciate Andrew Calandrelli and everyone at Ultimate MMA.
Absolutely. Shout out, definitely. Just waiting just a couple more minutes. Maybe we'll just go back to some more clips here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So,
If we could.
if we could, might as well. We'll just keep going. What? They must be on break again.
I don't know, these guys and gals. But we will say there is an open tryout. Is it Slickwagger Browns next Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall the name of his organization right now.
Test of strength.
Test of Strength Wrestling. Thank
Right.
you. Next Thursday, if you go on testofstrengthwrestling.com, you'll find out all the details. We'll share it on our Facebook page, but they are having an open tryout Thursday the 9th at their training facility in Watertown.
Watertown.
There we are.
There we go.
Wow, I'm getting
One of the premier wrestling schools, I'm told.
Yes.
Right.
So
You're talking him, you're talking Brian Fury, and you're talking, of course, Mario Mancini,
Right.
Paradise Alley.
and PWA as well in Connecticut.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be a professional wrestler and you want to get in there and tussle, then those are the places to go.
Right.
And all of them are been in business for a while now, reputable, and you're seeing great talent come out of it. PWA, Wrecking Ball Ogursky, congratulations on your tryout down in Florida. I don't know if you covered that
We might have.
in my absence.
Right.
But Wrecking Ball Ogursky had a tryout down at the Performance Center for WWE, and we're proud to say that he was the very first television interview, was right here. Wrecking Ball Ogursky. We had him before anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets his shot in WWE, Vince is going to come knocking and say, "Hey, you got any footage of this fellow when he was younger?" Of course we do. You bet your life.
You bet your life. Yeah, we have it.
Not only do we have his first interview, but we've got footage from PWA. And did you get him up in Pioneer Valley?
We did. We have we've this coming March 11th. He will be taking on. I have a little altercation. You can go to our
From the Golden Grappler.
Right, from the Golden Grappler Awards. You can go and you can see that. See if we can get that on next week. Altercation. Brad Hollister won Wrestler of the Year.
Yep.
And Wrecking Ball Ogursky was the one to give him the award,
Yep.
was the presenter. And there's a little altercation there just to hype up their match for March 11th,
Yep.
where Brad Hollister will be defending the PvP championship against
Yep.
Wrecking Ball Ogursky.
Wrecking Ball Ogursky.
Right.
The Wrecking Ball is he's skyrocketing, and hopefully, Vince will come knocking. And if you go to WWE.com, you can see some clips of Wrecking Ball Ogursky in the ring, talking with Lord Tensai, Albert,
Right.
and also a one-on-one interview with Wrecking Ball Ogursky about his experience at the Performance Center. So,
Right.
In all seriousness, I really wish Wrecking Ball Ogursky Spencer all the best luck in the world, and he can basically write his own ticket. And he's a big guy. Shaquille O'Neal just backed out of the match at WrestleMania. Big Show needs a big guy to fight. Hey, Wrecking Ball Ogursky.
Yeah, why not? Bring him in for WrestleMania.
Put him in.
Right.
I'd love to see that.
Right. Why wait?
But all seriousness, Wrecking Ball, I hope you make it. You get whatever that you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
And we're glad to have been a part of it, and truly appreciate your time and sharing with us.
Mm-hmm. Think our call is coming in.
Yes.
All right. We can get to that, and then if we have any more of the interviews to get to go with afterwards, but let's get to this call right here.
Here we are.
You are live on the Squared Circle.
Hey, it's Brian Barnes. How are you?
Good evening, Brian. We just ran down the list of the big event coming up on Saturday. I do not know how. One, you're going to fit all those wrestlers and entertainers in there, and two, where are you going to put everybody? You know, I mean, we were discussing who's going to be in the big room this time around.
Well, we're going to have a fight about that. I think we're looking at on the stage area either Mike Tyson or Sting or maybe both. It's going to be a game time decision. And then we have the other area where we'll be having Bret Hart, and we're going to have, believe it or not, in the main room we're going to have like Dennis Rodman and Tito Ortiz. I mean, it's
wow,
kind of crazy.
Wow. I mean, this is, you know, you always say that you're going to scale it back, and then you go, you redouble your efforts.
I cannot believe it. I really, really cannot believe it. I mean, I say it all the time that we can't do any better, and I don't know. It just gets even more crazy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, how, I don't know, honestly, I don't know how you do it, but is there somebody that you haven't gotten to appear yet that you're looking to try to get?
Yeah, there's tons of people we're trying to get. I mean, you know, there's open invitations to a lot of people.
Right.
Scheduling doesn't always work. Money demands can be outrageous at times.
Yep.
You know, we do the best we can, and like I keep saying after every show, you know, I don't know how I could ever possibly top it, and I really, really can't believe how this got topped. And you're forgetting about the other factor. You know, the weirdest factor of it all is people show up that you're not even counting on seeing.
Right. You just added some people on the yesterday and today, right? Ashley Massaro, Ryback, Greg Valentine, Big Jim Anderson, Andrew Anderson, sorry.
Andrew Anderson.
And
yeah.
we deal with Jim. I'm sorry, Andrew Anderson.
Right. I mean, there's tons of people we well, Ashley's not really added. She's more like a fixture of the show.
Right.
She's been everyone. She's actually what I consider my actual friend, which is pretty rare in this business.
Yes.
You have a lot of people that you know, but she actually is a friend that checks up on me from time to time. Which is,
yeah.
In fact, she even interviewed someone for your last show.
Yes, we just showed
literally
that.
we just saw that. She interviewed Aaron Rex and Swoggle for us, and we can't thank her enough. We can't thank you enough for you know, being such a consummate host and just inviting us back. And you know, you and I talked off air, and you know, series of unfortunate events, but we do have the DVD and the footage for you. We just ran some of it, anticipating your call, and we've gotten more resources now. We do have the University of New Haven facility at our disposal as well, and my son will be handling the footage that we shoot on Saturday.
Right.
So we're
good.
We're looking forward to it. What else do you have coming up in the future? Because I know beyond the big event, you're just always busy. I see you with a lot of Giants legends as well.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a week later, I got Howard Cross, Stephen Baker, and Jay Alford will be attending an event, which I have on sportsfanpromotions.com. And then May 3rd, I have the greatest defensive player ever in Lawrence Taylor in Bridgewater.
Wow.
And we also have Flavor Flav going to Chiller Theater. And we're working on other people.
Well, we're going to have to get Jason to meet Flavor Flav, because Jason is always late, and maybe Flavor Flav will give him one of his clocks and hang it around Jason's neck so he'll know what time it is, because literally Jason showed up at 5 minutes before the show tonight.
Yeah, well,
and ran in with his hair in the breeze.
It's not always my fault.
So maybe Flavor Flav will hit him over the head with a clock.
Correct.
Never.
But the big event did have one little problem. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but Kamala will not be attending.
Yes.
We were just talking about that, and James Harris posted, I guess there's an imposter out there, somebody that taking advantage of the situation. You want to cover that for me?
Yeah. Oh, well, I have no problem. Normally I would not, you know, mention people's names or talk bad about people. That's certainly not my intent. But in this case, why not?
Yep.
You know, there's a certain promoter who goes by the name of Eric Sims, who, you know, who is also banned from the big event. went ahead and took the liberty of, after Kamala posted he wasn't coming, he decided to share it all over the place and offer up autographs of him, you know, being an opportunist that he is. And they basically, you know, I mean, Kamala is handicapped. I mean, by all definitions of it. Why are you trying to go ahead and do something like that to the man? You know, it just you know, it's not a good thing. It's not business ethical.
Right.
And you know, and that's what he chooses to do. So from now on, we're going to be doing a 99 cent special on any guest he brings out. So, you know, that's what we're going to do. You know, sometimes you got to draw a line in the sand, and you know, I guess this is it.
Right.
You know, at the big event in November, you had Ivan Koloff, and about a week ago we lost him. That may have been his last public appearance, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, and we. It's funny you bring up the last big event. You know, we had such a, I guess, good and bad with Bruno Sammartino. It was great that he came out for his last appearance and everything like that.
Yep.
What was the bad side of that, though?
The bad was we didn't charge enough. You know, we should have charged more. We should have limited the tickets. You know, and everyone's going to be like, oh, you know, that's good that you didn't. But, you know, we had problems where people weren't able to get some of their stuff done. People got cut off. You know, it was just a big problem, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was something that obviously you could not have predicted. The turnout for Bruno Sammartino. I mean, I just remember just seeing, you know, the room was just packed and it's just people waiting. And, you know, I think part of it is that Bruno is such a great guy and such a nice guy that he just wanted to talk to everybody and take time with everybody. And, you know, I've seen other stars, quote unquote, just like push the line along and just scribble and say thanks and you know, now get out of my face. And Bruno was not like that at all. I think part of it was Bruno just spent so much time with everybody that
he could have easily been like that, but he never let the power go to his head.
So I don't think it was a matter of money. I think it was a matter of Bruno just being such a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the other problem with it was there were people that wanted to see him, and they wanted to see him one last time.
Yeah.
And Ivan Koloff was one of them. And we kept taking the celebrities and not allowing them there to see him. And Ivan was like, I need to see Bruno one last time.
Yeah.
And we basically told him no.
Oh.
You know, but can you believe that? But oddly enough, somehow or another, at the end, he was able to sneak it in, I believe. But I mean, I feel bad telling someone you can't see him, and then the guy's gone. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and the problem is, you know, you can't have 50 different people, you know, spend 5 minutes with him. Otherwise, nothing will ever get done. So
right.
People got to understand that I'm in a very weird situation where you want to make everyone happy, and it's just very, very hard to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone comes to me and wants me to help them out, and I do the best I can. But it's a challenge. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, and with the amount of guests, I mean, we forgot to talk about, you know, probably our biggest guest ever. Mike Tyson's going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and Dennis Rodman.
Right. I mean, I don't like, as I said, you know, I mean, between Tyson, Rodman, Sting, Bret Hart, you know, you're going to have just I think the biggest attendance ever. And it's I don't know how you're going to do it. And again, like you said, it just gets bigger and bigger, and you don't even intend it to be that way, and it just happens almost by osmosis. That you know, people see, you know, how good of a job you do and who you bring in, and want to be a part of it.
I mean, it's just crazy how people just show up at the last second. Like last show, Rob Van Dam at the last second. You know, it's Tuesday night. I would not be surprised if a gigantic name just happens to pop up. You know,
right?
It's just the weirdest thing. You know, you'll be turning your back and be like, is that so and so? And very well could be.
Yeah, you know, I mean, do you have confirmation on Corey Graves? Because I see Corey Graves on your list, and you know, we're doing the math in our heads that he's got to be at Fastlane on the following Sunday in Arizona, but.
I'm figuring
it'll
if
be
the big
interesting.
event's over by 2, he can easily
Right.
go across the street.
Well, yeah. I mean, the airport is right across the street.
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy for someone to get on a 5 o'clock flight.
Yeah.
You know, or even a 4 o'clock if they really needed to.
Right.
You know, and then off they go.
Yeah, because that's one of the gentlemen I'm very looking forward to see. Because
Right.
okay.
And for this show, I want more things with the fans. I want the film crew getting the fans talking to the people. You know, I know you guys love interviewing and stuff like that, but you got to get some footage of the fans interacting. I'm telling you, that's what people really want to see.
Yeah.
You know, a fan jumping up and down after meeting someone, or crying,
Yeah.
or holding up their prized possession. I mean, to me, that's what this is all about.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyone can get, a wrestler talking about the same thing for the 50th time.
Yeah.
But no one's sitting there showing, what these people truly mean to the fans.
Right. I did get an interview with a gentleman that was waiting to see Mark Henry, and he had a piece of merchandise that I don't think he could have crammed one more autograph, and a lot of those autographs that he had on that he did get at the big event at various, the last 11 so far. And he was a nice gentleman, and it's funny that a lot of the fans are kind of shy and don't want to talk, but
Right.
we will definitely.
I think the more you
obey their
ask,
wishes.
the more you're liable
Yeah.
to get people to
Yeah.
talk to you real quick.
And go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. From what it sounds like after speaking to my partner Tommy, who, by the way, we got to give a big thanks to him, because without him, this event would never happen.
Yep.
Right.
Or it would happen. It just wouldn't happen to this level.
Yep.
He definitely makes it considerably better. And he's a great partner and everything like that.
Yep.
But from the sounds of it, I'm going to be with Bret Hart.
Yep.
So I want you guys to come over by Bret Hart, and I'm going to help you guys do some cool things over there. I'm going to see to it myself, and I even have some new talent for you that will grab the microphone and do an interview or two for you.
Oh.
And I'm not going to tell you who. I think Ashley should do one more, but I'm going to get you another girl to do an interview, and it's going to be great. I'm telling you.
Brian, I did want to say for your earlier comment, you can't beat yourself up, because you know what, you do such a wonderful job, and everybody just really enjoys the event. You can see it, and we will definitely get the reactions, and you can see it in the fans' faces when they walk into that room. I think it's like a kid walking into Wonka Factory when you see 35, 40 of the people that you grew up watching on TV and idolizing and following their careers, and they're all in one room. That main room is just, it's breathtaking. When you walk in there, you don't know who to run to first. It's like I said, the Wonka Factory. You don't know which piece of candy to grab first. There's just so many people and so many, just stars that you can't even take it all in.
I know. It really is amazing. The last show, I mean, I still can't believe that Mark Henry actually showed up. I mean, not that there was any doubt that he wasn't. Getting a current WWE superstar there,
Right.
Was fantastic.
Well, I think this time around you got Gilbert. He's a current WWE superstar.
In a way,
surprisingly
right.
enough.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He was just on, last week, 2 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago, getting attacked by Kevin Owens.
I mean, you got announcers and you got all sorts of other people
Yeah.
that are doing this. But Mark Henry was a veteran star.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's been there forever, and that was just a major land for us and stuff like that.
And the gentleman, by all means, he was just a wonderful fellow, and couldn't have been nicer to the fans. And I have to say that throughout our history of going to your events, just as fans to start with, and now as I consider you our friends of the show, and I haven't met a bad apple in the bunch.
Well, they're out there. They're out there. We just gotta look. They are out there.
Well, at least they've been on their best behavior while they're at the big event.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And some of the people.
Most of them are. I mean, they're professionals, a lot of them.
Right.
You know, they know what to do. They're trained to make people have a good time.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. You know, you can't say it any better. You know,
Right.
and if they're not entertaining you, then there's no point in them coming out. You know, what's the point?
Right.
If someone's going to sit there and look miserable, at a table, no one's going to want them.
Right. Well, believe it or not, we've actually seen that and experienced that at some of the other events we've covered, and it's a matter of, I agree with you. You can be there for the 3-4 hours, and just turn it on. If you're an entertainer and a celebrity, and there is some aspect of acting in wrestling, you can act like you're happy to be there for the those few hours. And we all have strife and problems in our life, but you know what, people are coming out and paying good money, so be there and smile and be there for the fans.
Absolutely.
It couldn't be truer. The whole part of the experience is to watch someone on TV, root for them, and enjoy yourself. And people really get into it.
One of the other things that is interesting, and we see at the big event, is that a lot of these superstars haven't seen each other in quite some time.
Right. Oh, yeah.
God bless. Rest in peace. Chyna was walking around. She hadn't seen Kevin Nash since she was in the WWF back in the day, and to watch them interact. And we got a couple of snapshots of Jake Roberts with Alundra Blaze. And, you could see it, they were happy to see one another. And you can't fake that. And that's something that you can't plan and probably won't happen again for quite some time. And as you said, Ivan Koloff wasn't in the same room with Bruno Sammartino for many, many years. And, he got to see Bruno for one last time at the end of your event. So I mean, it's interesting to watch not only the fan interaction, but to see these people, reacquaint themselves with one another after having worked together.
I mean, it's really weird how they seem to be just dropping dead after my show. I mean,
Brian.
Don't beat yourself up over that now.
Brian, what's in the water over at the
Right.
LaGuardia Plaza Hotel? LaGuardia Plaza Hotel.
It's been a lot already. I mean, my gosh, all in the last 2 years too.
Yeah. And of course we lost George the Animal Steel. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, well, he actually never came to the big event.
No.
I don't.
I thought the last time you had Bruno, it was at a different venue. He was there.
Okay, that was when we had it at the spaceship.
Yeah, right. And you had Jericho. Chris Jericho was. Yeah. He was across from Chris Jericho. I remember that.
Okay.
And then Bruno was in that room because that was. That was. I went as a fan at that point, and that was when I first met Bruno. And again, just a great guy. He stood there for a good 5-10 minutes, just talking with myself and my son, and he could not have been nicer. And he signed and took pictures with us, and he was just a wonderful, wonderful fellow. And George Steele was there, and I believe his book had just come out, and he was promoting his book.
Yeah, something I do remember that. But you know what's weird? He's like one of the few people that I never had for an appearance. Like I don't know. I kind of feel like I've had, most people, and like he was one I never actually had on my own or partnered up with him.
Well, you always ask us for ideas or requests, and I mentioned.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's give me them for the next one because we're starting.
The beach bum himself, Don Morocco.
Okay.
And I think Pedro Morales is still around.
Think so.
Well, he is, but he doesn't want to do anything. It seems.
No.
Some people get, I'm going to call it a complex. Where they don't want people seeing them if they weren't, the way they remember.
Okay.
And some people just fall out of life. I guess it's just. Hey, if you can't see me the way I was, you don't see me.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what it is. That's my personal belief.
Yep.
And the fact that he's probably sick or elderly, or
Right.
or a combination of all three. You know.
Because, I mean, there's a legend that not many people, keep in the front of their minds, but, you bring his name up, and, especially back when he was wrestling, to be of Latin Hispanic descent in that time era was quite an accomplishment. And I think, representing his community as Bruno represented the Italian American community was something that he held on his shoulders, and he held it with pride and dignity, and just a great guy, and should not be forgotten in the history of sports entertainment. But the Beach Bum, Don Morocco, and the boys always are asking, what's it going to take to get Undertaker?
Well, I kind of think that he is going to be getting probably closer to actually doing an event like this.
Yeah.
I would guess. I mean, it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
Do they want to meet their fans? Do they not want to meet their fans? How much money do they have? Do they care about it, or there's a lot of variables.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Like to me, a guy like Mick Foley, I think he has enough, but it seems like he wants more.
Yeah, I think Mick Foley is.
And he likes working. So.
Yeah. Mick Foley has done so many appearances between his stand-up, I don't want to say comedy, but his stand-up routine and, various, particularly in this area because he's a Long Island guy, but he's really overexposed himself, at least to this area.
Right.
So, I don't feel that he's a huge draw anymore. As great as he is, and as, and he's a wonderful fellow, in addition, but, it's like if you haven't met Mick Foley in this area, if you haven't met him by now, then you ain't trying, brother.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny though, but I mean, like, it's weird. Sometimes people are big stars, and people haven't met them, and they've been around everywhere, and
right.
There's just so many different. It's a coincidence. But I agree with you. You've had plenty of chance to meet them.
Yeah. Like if you haven't seen Kiss live, you ain't been trying. They come around how many times a year, and stuff like that. But yeah, we're really looking forward to see you on Saturday. And again, we can't thank you enough for just being a friend of the show and helping us out as much as you do. And we will get more fan interaction, and we'll get hooked up with your partner, and we'll see you and Bret Hart together.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, perfect.
Right,
and then hopefully everyone comes down. I'm very curious to see how Tito Ortiz is perceived and does. It's an MMA thing. He was in TNA Impact Wrestling.
Right.
I'm wondering how many people want Impact Wrestling things. How many people want MMA things? What is the buzz about MMA? Do people want us to bring more MMA, UFC stuff to our convention?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe so because you know what? Those guys, outside of like Bellator appearances, they don't do a whole lot of appearances. So I mean, you kind of we would have a corner on that. And how just out of curiosity, Ken Shamrock, you had it the last one. Did you get any feedback on how Ken Shamrock did?
No. My problem is, and one of the reasons why I like you guys so much is this. I'm usually stuck in one or two locations.
Yep.
I don't get to walk around my own show.
Yep.
Right.
And by you guys filming it, I'm actually able to attend my own show that way. If that makes any sense to you.
No,
I guess it
Right,
does makes a lot of sense.
Yep. But and again, we're learning together and we're growing together, and we will definitely obey your wishes, and we will have a better product for you.
Right. We'll get some more.
Yep. And again, we appreciate it. We're running out of time, and bigeventny.com is where you can find everything about the big event, and we'll see you on Saturday, my friend.
Okay, great.
All right. Good night.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay. Yep. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Well, we were able to talk to him. We were able to get a few interviews in there anyway.
I will meet Don Morocco.
Right.
We're
cutting it close to go to any more footage, I think,
that's okay.
unfortunately.
We do have him up on the Squared Circle page.
Right.
And again, you know, Brian is just such a wonderful fellow to work with, and the big event, you can see from the footage, not just this year, but the last, you know, and it is a wonderful time, and everybody has a great time, and you cannot get those people in one space, you know, anywhere else. You know, you can meet one or two people here or there, and we do mention John Kelleher does bring in to M&J Collectibles, and we'll mention that. We'll add that to the page. He's got some guys coming up. I know, I'm not sure if he's officially announced it yet, so I won't give it away. But you will see on our page, M&J Collectibles, John Kelleher is bringing in some autographs. So, but as far as, you know, that many people in one room, bigeventny.com, check it out.
Absolutely. Right, and check out the group page. I was up till 4:30 in the morning getting that stuff ready.
I'm at 4:30 every day. I'm eating lunch.
Guess we're all done.
Yeah, that went by like that.
I went by like that.
But
Well, next week we'll have a special call-in, the former fan of the year for Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling.
Right.
Is going to be calling to
Well,
talk to us.
He's the first fan of the year, and so nobody will ever take that away from him.
Right. Yeah, he introduced the new fans of the year, the Schluter family.
Right.
Right. So we're going to probably show some clips from the award ceremony, not the roast of AJ Cruz, but the award ceremony.
Right.
A roast it's a roast.
And there's an event coming up Sunday.
Sunday, don't forget, there's two events coming up
Chikara
this
in the
Sunday.
afternoon.
Chikara, it presents The Empty Child, and that's 2 to 5 p.m., I believe, and 6 to 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that, for Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling, running opposite of WWE pay-per-view. See how interesting to see how that pans out. Blitzkrieg Pro presents Life Won't Wait.
Right.
So we got a busy weekend ahead of us.
You go see the live wrestling, and then you catch Fastlane on the WWE Network on a replay.
That's true.
You get the best of both worlds. And who's going to cover those? Who's going to cover those events?
Squared
I
Circle.
think these fellows here, yeah.
Right. Right. I don't think we can get footage of Chikara, but definitely
No.
Blitzkrieg.
No, but we can get the information back,
Absolutely.
right as it happens.
YBYL.
There you go.
We'll see you next Tuesday, folks. Good night and good luck.